seems like in today's NBA, the lifespan of teams and the length of their championship window is really shorter than it ever has been. The Memphis Grizzlies are absolutely maybe the number one team you could really point to when it comes to this sort of fall from grace. After being this fun upcoming team, maybe people love to hate them, but they definitely knew who they were and they definitely were legit, had a lot of talent, and again, had a really strong identity. They're now a shell of themselves and a team that has completely lost themselves really more and more season by season. A number of things you can point to with why they just aren't who they were and right now aren't who they should be. Losing Dylan Brooks, which wasn't some CBA thing, a lot of that was their fault. They didn't want to bring him back. They, said under no circumstances will they bring back Dylan Brooks, and he's thrived with the Rockets and is thriving now with the Suns. And I know they miss him not only on the court when it comes to defense and the things he's showing he could do as a scorer and as a shooter, especially in Houston, but with what he brings in terms of being a culture guy, strengthening your locker room, and again, strengthening, keyword, identity. They lost Steven Adams many seasons ago, and he's proving that despite having some injury issues, he's still a legit player and is an underrated guy when we're talking about longevity. I thought the Desmond Bane return was pretty good. 4 first-round picks for a good player, but I didn't really think he warranted that. I think that was a pretty good return for the Grizzlies, but they really missed his shooting and what he could do as an overall scorer. And also compared to, very similar to Dylan Brooks, I think Bane is a really good culture guy and helped them to sort of have that sort of tough team sort of identity. We can also point to the injury issues with the Memphis Grizzlies, specifically with Ja Morant. And while they lost those 3 other guys, they haven't lost Morant or Jaren Jackson Jr., but it really seems like those guys have lost themselves. The NBA needs its stars. It's why so many of us watch. It's definitely why the casual fans watch. And it really hurts me when a guy like Ja has a fall off or when a guy's out for a super long time, can't stay healthy. Tatum with that Achilles right now, Halliburton with that Achilles right now, because these guys are such treats to watch, and I also just want them to be healthy on the court. And what we've lost with Ja Morant as NBA fans when it comes to this electric player on the court, again, a confident guy being on the Grizzlies, just that being who he is, it's been very harmful for the league, and personally, I love watching him. Has sucked for me. I did a video on him not too long ago about who he is, really specifically as a pick and roll ball handler and how that's how he gets so much of his offense off. And this play is, and his role as a pick and roll ball handler is really what made him a star. His ability to get to his left hand out of the pick and roll with that in and out or the right to left cross. When he gets to the rim, he just has a pogo stick when it comes to his hang time and his hops, and how he's really a dynamic playmaker. And we've lost that all. He's lost that all, whether because of, again, injuries, off the court issues, not being able to keep his mind in the right place, coaching issues when it comes to priorities in the offense or not being a priority in the offense. And the Grizzlies are going to need him to return to form if they want to have any sort of real resurgence. Triple J is another guy that this season really has just completely lost himself. Last season, again, I did a video on him, and the thing I'm most in awe with Jaren Jackson when he's playing the way he should be at the peak of his powers is his defense, and specifically the consistency of his weak side help, being in the right place at the right time. We won that DPOY in 2023, and I absolutely see why. And again, the consistency and just how much you can count on him, or at least you could count on him to be in the right place at the right time on that weak side help defender, was so transformative for this team. Potentially when he's playing the way he should, the best weak side guy in the NBA. And also last season, he really had a breakout as an isolation scorer, being able to take guys off the dribble, being one of the best in the NBA in that little, paint, non-restricted area zone with the floaters, with the back to the basket stuff, hook shots with his great touch. He really made strides as that, especially as Ja was out of the lineup. He had to be that sort of creator and scorer, really more specifically. And he's lost all of that. He's averaging less points this season. He's averaging less shots. Doesn't look comfortable in the offense. And again, that sort of fall off just one season after having probably his best offensive season has really hurt this team. The couple of games I watched to start the season for the Grizzlies, they looked very dead. That's the word I can really think of. Very disgruntled, like they had no chemistry on the court, like they were kind of playing for nothing, which I know for Grizzlies fans, for any fans, it's probably the worst feeling you could feel. Like the players don't even care themselves. I felt that a lot with the Sixers myself personally. The players don't even care. Why should I as a fan? You're the one on the court. I'm on my couch. How do I care more than you do? Despite how bad they looked, it may not be over for them. And just over the past 10 or so games, a number of players for them have really been they've completely reshaped the season for this team. Ja Morant has been out. Jaren Jackson Jr. hasn't really found his rhythm yet, at least not completely, but it's really the super young guys for the Grizzlies that have changed everything for them. Zach Edey, Cedric Coward, Cam Spencer, Vince Williams even, and Jalen Wells have really been huge for this team. And we can go down the list at what they provide because it's a versatile number of things, and I know it gives Grizzlies fans a lot of hope. Zach Edey is no doubt the most impactful player of this group, and some people will even say the most impactful player on the entire Grizzlies team, and he's been big for them. I don't watch a lot of college basketball, but I love the idea of Edey coming out of college and being a prospect for the NBA because of his size and what he can do at his size. He's 7'2", and he plays like it. The first thing I look at in terms of his offensive presence is definitely his post game. He has, again, the strength and the size to just overpower people, but he also has a great touch with his hook shots. And something else that's super impressive with his hook shots is the range he has on it. He can post stuff from pretty far out and has a lot of success there. It sucks that he's out with injury for a month now, as Ja is just coming back, because I know he would do so much for Ja Morant. He's also been huge for the Grizzlies on defense, giving them a rim protector next to Jaren Jackson Jr. And there's a lot to be said for a big man that doesn't have anything super crazy in his game in terms of being a 7-footer that can put the ball on the floor like crazy, or being a 7-footer that can shoot the three. But he does his job as a big man, and he does it well. And a big that plays big, can rebound, can block shots, can be a real post and paint presence. We've seen what it could be for the Grizzlies, and they need him back as soon as possible. The rookie Cedric Coward and the second-year player Cam Spencer are guards for this Grizzlies team that just showcase so much confidence and comfort despite being so young. The game versus the Grizzlies was really a big game for Coward. And the biggest thing we saw there was his confidence as a driver to the basket. He had a couple of counter moves on players where he showed so much comfort getting to the rim and a real persistence there. Rim pressure is one of the most important things for a star, or an aspiring star in the NBA. If you can't put pressure on the rim consistently, you can't break defenses. If there's no threat there, that's a huge hole to have in your game. So for Coward to be a rookie, not even halfway through his first year playing pro, being this confident getting to the rim, and not only being confident but having the skill, that's huge and will continue to be for this team. Cam Spencer also looks great as a scorer and as a shooter. And what I love from him mostly is his ability as a pull-up shooter. This is a direct contrast from Ja Morant, who at times can have a lot of issues getting off from the court because he has no jump shot. And if the paint is clogged, if it's a good defensive team, they can shut that down. So Cam Spencer being an option for this team at guard that can hit those pull-up threes if guys are playing drop, don't want to come up to the three-point line, is huge, and already has proved to be for this team. He's also not just a three-point guy. I've seen him get to the rim. I've seen him have some pull-up mid-range shots. And again, what I love mostly from him is the pull-up jump shot, because being able to hit those pull-up threes is huge in the NBA and can be very game-breaking. Jalen Wells has also looked a lot better as the season has gone on. He can also be a catch-and-shoot guy, and there's some things he can do defensively. I think he has had a couple of times this season where I've looked at him and have been impressed, or at least seen potential with him as an on-ball defender. But despite just being a catch-and-shoot guy on offense, I've seen him put the ball on the floor and have some good moves, again, have some confidence there. The more versatile you can be, obviously the better you are. Versatility is the number one thing when you're looking at a scorer. We've also seen some things with Vince Williams, specifically as a passer and an assist guy, giving him some meaningful minutes with helping this team be more connected. As an NBA fan and NBA creator, I'm very concerned with the health of the league. And I know that the league will be that much better if we have another team come really back into the fray like they were a few seasons ago. And this group of young guys gives them a chance to do that. Losing Bane, Steven Adams, and Dillon Brooks hurt, but guys like Edey, Wells, Williams, Spencer, Coward being guys that they can rely on more so and that want to be good. You see how confident, how much energy these guys are bringing. This gives them a chance to be good once again. Again, they're going to need Ja Morant to return and be closer to what he was a couple of seasons ago versus what he's been over the last, really more than a couple of seasons, because it's been a rough time for Ja. He's going to need to be that again. Jaren Jackson Jr. looks lost in the offense and just really isn't a priority. Is that a good thing? I don't know. Should he be moved? We'll see. But the young guys are doing their job. It's ready. It's time for these guys that have been a part of this team to come back and serve them right. Thank you all for watching. This has been Rashad with Hoops Times 2. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Hit the like button if you like this video. Want to see more. See you all next time. Peace out.